you typically have a 90-day grace period to get your feet under the table and decide what your strategy is going to look like. Then, you'll probably go and talk to a board somewhere or the exco and say, this is what my plan is. Then you're given at least 2 quarters to deliver that plan. So that's a very quick turnaround to be, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Here it is working. Here it is working again. And if it's not working, you're out. That's, if you're not showing 2 quarters of improvement, they're looking to replace you already. That's harsh.
Just it's a really interesting question. I mean, like if you're a first-time CISO, I mean, what would your 30, 60, 90-day plan look like? I mean, what should you be thinking about? What from your experience?
Wow. There's a question. Yes, I would hire a consultant. No, I would. So going at gap analysis is always the best way to start. It almost feels boring to say it, actually, because I've done it so many times. But you reveal so much about an organization just by going in and talking to everybody about all of these processes. So work out what security looks like. And for me, that's using a framework like the cybersecurity framework and having all of that detail in a hierarchy and working out where people sit within that hierarchy. Then you can see, right, where have I got skills gaps? Where have I got process gaps? If I've got people and process, how could I make it better using technology? And it's only when you've got people and process that you think about technology. And then taking all of that detail and saying, what does a program of improvement look like? And I would say that the most important person that I ever have with me when I'm starting anything like that is a program manager or a project manager. In fact, someone who can do a bit of both and even a bit of BA work as well is ideal. And actually, my co-founder and right-hand man as a CISO was that person. So I would say, look, we have a problem in this area. We can see generally what it looks like. Go and do a deep dive in that area and pull all of the requirements out. Write me a business case, write me some job descriptions for people to go in that area, and let's go and turn that into a project to address that particular problem. Because those security programs that you put together, they're going to be at least, even in a very mature environment, you'll probably find a year's worth of work to do. I would say most environments, you could easily put together a 3-year plan and not address everything, but have things mapped out to, okay, this is what good is going to look like.
Right.
I think the last 3 or 4 engagements I did as a consultant, I was building SOCs. I was going in and starting an operations center from scratch because they didn't have anything.
There's nothing.
They'd have a guy picking up logs, and that was about it. So if there's people listening to this thinking, God, I don't have an operations center, I don't do anything with my logs. Well, that's not particularly unusual still.
No, we found that.
It's not so long since there was no such thing as cyber. It was all infosec, and that was just identifying problems and then putting controls in. It was IT security essentially. So the fact that we've now got this end-to-end process where we look at the logs coming out of these things and then react to them, that's still fairly leading edge for security. And all of these tools that are coming up around the edge of that, where everything is kind of always on and super reactive, proactive, even that's bleeding edge. That's really the future. It's not something that you need to be 100% on top of, but you certainly need to be aware of it and following it.